Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Clark of the Paydirt Prospector newsletter. And with gold moving higher, we want to stay in touch with all of our companies. And one that I am personally overweight. So, full disclosure, I'm overweight this stock. I really like it. And joining me today to talk about the new press release they have out is CEO John Florek of Emperor Metals. John, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, good to see you again. Thanks, Jeff, for being overweight in our stock. I think it's a good purchase.
Yeah. Good. Well, you're very overweight this stock. I do know that. So, very good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you had some news yesterday. You're going to be starting drilling pretty soon at your flagship project. And just as a background for everyone, it's a Duquesne West. It's in Quebec. It's on a prolific trend in Quebec. It's surrounded by mines and projects. The press release yesterday says crews are mobilizing. You're going to do an 8,000-meter drill program. So just briefly, tell us about that.
Yeah, so, the program basically is 8,000 meters of drilling, but we're also doing 8,000 meters of historical core sampling. So we'll have
Yeah.
about 16,000 meters, okay, of basically core to sample this summer. And we're, like I said, last year, all-in costs were $250 a meter. It's going to be lower this year because we're sampling so much more historical core, which we don't have to drill. So you get 16,000 meters of actual drilling for news releases for the upcoming year.
Yeah, that's great. And when do you expect the drilling to get underway, John? Do you have a sense for that yet? I know a lot of factors go into that, and it depends on the drill crew as well. But when might we expect that?
Yeah, so they're mobilizing now. So we've already started unstacking some of the old core pellets and started sampling the historical core. So we're actually working right now. We're collecting core and it's being split and cut and it's getting and relogged and sent to the assay lab. So that's happening right now. We also are mobilizing our equipment out there. We already have an individual out there clearing the drill pads up for us, and the drilling company's on their way right now as we speak. So hopefully we'll be actually, by the time we get all set up this week and stuff, we'll be drilling next week.
Oh, great, great. So we might expect assay results to start coming out, what, maybe July, August, that time frame?
Probably August. Our average turnaround time, once it left after we split and cut it and sent it to the lab, the turnaround time last year averaged about 31 days. I don't know what the labs are going to look like for
Sure.
Whether they're going to be completely burdened with everybody else's core, but using an average of 31 days, and by the time we cut and split, add another couple of weeks to that. Yeah, so I'd say about August 1st and later.
Yeah, and then you'll have press releases for a while there reporting on all these results, 16,000 meters total. So that'll be great. Lots of potential catalysts there. And John, just as we wrap up, I just want to clarify for people, there's a high grade core basically underneath this deposit that you know of, but there's also the bulk tonnage open pit that's above it, right? And is that where most of your focus is going to be this year? Is it in the high grade? Is it in both? Can you kind of tell us where you're looking this year?
Yeah, so our drilling program is basically going to be 70-80% looking at the open pit potential. 30 to 20% is going to be looking at those high grade lenses in the underground scenario. Now, keep in mind, when we introduced this to investors, it was just a high grade underground gold deposit. The revelation last year was that, oh my God, is there potential for a large scale open pit above it? So we did some pit optimization. We have like a 2-kilometer long pit by 800 meters wide down to 400 meters depth. Because we were seeing in our 2023 drilling, we were hitting not only those high grade lenses that, on hole 5, we extended one lens at 10.8 meters at 15.8 grams per ton, but we were also seeing like 25 meters of 1.69 grams per ton. So those incremental ounces in the host rock that hosts these high grade lenses was never looked at before. All the core is unsampled. So that's why we're going back to the historical core to sample within the open pit. So that's 50% of the core is definitely there. We'll be drilling and trying to add inferred ounces to the open pit and extending the pit boundaries if we can, because it's really kind of still open to the east and to the west. So, there's 2 kilometers. I don't know exactly what the dimension is yet, so we'll look at some of that.
Sure.
And then, but we also want to, drill some of that underground stuff, because right below the open pit is those underground high grade ounces. It gets, better grade at depth too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's exciting to have like, a big open pit deposit above a high grade underground gold.
Right, it is. Yeah. Well, I think this is one that's going to grow. There is always a risk in the junior sector, but this company already has a resource, and the opportunity here is that, in my opinion, this resource could easily double, triple, or more. The company's not going to have to build a mill. They're probably going to sell their ore to the underutilized mills that are around it. So this is a great bet in my opinion. Again, I'm overweight this stock, so it's a strong buy in my opinion. So John, thanks for joining me very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks, everyone.